Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Cyclist Most Wanted. Today we're going to be looking at rental bikes, rental e-bikes in particular. The criminals are now using as getaway vehicles. So cruising around town on a bike all day is could definitely be tiring. Now with e-bikes, you can scan parking lots and look for vehicles to break into without breaking such a sweat. This is bizarre. This article is about 5 years old. I can't imagine that they've stopped doing this, but if you've ever rented an e-bike or any rental bike in a store, or I mean in a bigger city, if you rent a bike in a bigger city, you got to have an app generally. You download an app on your phone. It's GPS tracked. You have to have a credit card set up to be able to use this, and it's all completely traceable. I can't imagine why people would do this. I've used rental bikes, New York City. Um, I've used some of the rental scooters in places like Omaha, Cleveland, San Juan, Puerto Rico. But it's GPS tracked. They know where you're at all times when you're riding on those things, and you can't leave them. There's some places that are like no-go zones, so it's really bizarre that they're using this to scan vehicles. And you see this guy here breaking into a car and then getting ready to leave on his rented e-bike. I'm not sure why people would do this or be in an area where you could get away with that. Really, I think it would have to be um, somewhere where they're not going to enforce property crimes. There's a lot of places, a lot of urban areas, crime is so bad, or just basically changes in policing over the past 5, 10 years, particularly around like lockdown times. There was a lot of change in the way policing was done. So small property crimes and things like that. A lot of cities they don't even investigate them. Places like Baltimore, a lot of places in California, um, they'll do a report, but they're not going to even try to really stop it. So that's the only way I would think you would try that because it's not very slick. Like I mean, if there's a will to enforce and stop this from happening, it can easily be done. You have their credit card info, you have their app, you have the GPS tracking, everything there. The only possible way I could see is if there's a stolen credit card. But once again, stolen credit cards are also easy to track or they're quick to shut down. So I have to think these people are just doing this so brazenly that they know no one's going to stop them. That's the only thing I could think with this. Very interesting. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments if you've seen something like this before or if you're a city that has rental bikes or e-bikes. If you've seen anything like this. Here's a picture. Almost looks this is a kind of funny article. This almost looks like a cartoon character robber that someone would imagine. Similar to like the cartoon character with the bags with dollar signs on it. This is basically a caricature of somebody robbing something. But yeah, he's stealing somebody's old bike, I guess. Here, yeah, here's a different view, interesting view. Also, a guy with a mask that's easy to hide. I saw these when I was in New York City, even several years ago. They're just everywhere. These delivery and courier bikes on e-bikes, some of them with like multiple battery packs cobbled together. Most of the ones I saw, they were going pretty fast, and it looked like people were kind of building their own thing or doing their own thing with these. Look at these two guys here talking about in this article. They stole 22 e-bikes from delivery workers in New York City. It's kind of messed up. That's a lot of bikes. E-bikes can get expensive. Even a cheap one, you know, say you even got the bare bones cheap $500 e-bike, that's 12,000 worth of e-bikes. And if they're a delivery driver, they're not going to have the cheapest thing. They're going to need something that's going to last, have good range, and they can use it day in and day out. So I mean, that's got to be in the felony range for stealing there. But yeah, 20 some bikes. Outrageous. Here's a Lime bike. I've never seen a Lime bike in the cities I've been in. I've seen the Lime scooters, which I assume it's the same thing, and it's the same issue. It says here in the caption here, there's cell phone payment track, there's GPS tracked. You have to log in and log out when you stop and start riding them. So I mean, 100%. easily stoppable, trackable. Anyone could do this. But if it's in a permissive environment where, property crimes aren't enforced, then yeah, you could absolutely uh, wreak havoc with these things flying around, hop off, get another one, not have to worry about anything if they're not going to enforce it. But yeah, really interesting here. So this is in California primarily, and then these guys with this theft ring in New York City. But it's not only a problem in the U.S. I'm going to show you guys here. So here we go. Muggers using Boris bikes as getaway vehicles. Still English. This is actually a really old article. Apparently, they've been doing this for a long time. Um, yeah, 2011. That was really, at least when I first became aware, probably in the very early stages of any of these rental bikes that you see in places. London, from what I've heard, it's a big cycling place, so maybe they're a little bit ahead of the curve. Muggers using Boris bikes as getaway vehicles. Some gangs, not just not just criminals, gangs, been using the London mayor's flagship transport scheme, hire bikes, to help mug people. Wow. So it looks like 3 recorded crimes so far. 15-year-old approached by 6 teenagers on bikes. Stole his BlackBerry wallet. I don't know what an oyster and a library card is. Sounds like that's just everything in his wallet and 10 pounds, which I think is like 25 bucks if you convert it to American dollars. It's like teens doing these crimes. They arrested a 16-year-old. Second one, 23-year-old woman had a phone stolen walking down the road. Third robbery happened. 13-year-old with a friend approached by 5 15-year-old boys on hire bikes. Man, what is going on in London? You have teenagers just robbing each other, renting bikes, and going to do robberies. Outrageous. I mean, look at these bikes. These are like the Pee Wee Herman bicycles. These things are not fast. They're slow, heavy bikes. I'm not sure if these are e-assist or what, but just that type of bike. That's a slow, heavy bike. Doesn't really make any sense. It looks like they caught most of these people, or at least the ones they know of. Um, yeah, really bizarre. But yeah, apparently this is going on everywhere. And it sounds like places. I don't know if it's an instance where they have teenagers doing this because the sentences are lower, and maybe they're part of gangs that have older people or something like that, and they have the teenagers commit the crimes because there's less stringent sentences. But yeah, I don't know what's going on over there. They have teenagers driving around on rental bicycles and doing robberies. It's pretty outrageous. So there you have it. The trend of using rental e-bikes and rental bikes to commit crimes. Hey, if you guys like these Cyclist Most Wanted videos, let me know down in the comments, and I'll keep making them. It's kind of been fun to make these type of videos. I actually, until I started researching it, had no idea there was so much crime being committed on bicycles. So it's been kind of entertaining for me as well. I hope also for you as well as the viewers. But let me know, and I'll see you guys out on the trail.